we're live.
And we're live, yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, YouTube.
Welcome to the Emily and Michael show. I'm Emily.
And I'm Michael. So, what's our topic today?
Today is we are going to talk about female ejaculation.
Female ejaculation. All right. And we will talk a little bit about our barbecue party experience, right? So, let's talk about female ejaculation or squirting or gushing.
So what actually is that?
Yeah, female ejaculation. We like to go to Wikipedia and sites like that to get some really clever thoughts on this kind of things, right? So let me call up Wikipedia because, believe it or not, there is a Wikipedia entry on female ejaculation. What they say is it's the expulsion of fluid by the peripheral ducts, I can't really pronounce that, through and around the human female urethra. Through and around, that basically means it's not pee. It's coming from somewhere near, close the pee hole, but not from inside.
No.
So it's from this unpronounceable kind of organ, which I think a lot of people nowadays, they call it the female prostate. I think another scientific term for where this squirt is coming from is the Skene's gland, and there's also a Wikipedia entry for this. And it also shows where this Skene's glands are in the vagina, or let's say in the near the urethra. Not from a medical point of view, it's not really inside the vagina, but we know where to look for it. And we actually looked for it in your vagina very closely. We found them, and it was fun.
Yeah.
So it's coming from something like the prostate. It's a fluid. It's a lot of fluid in some cases.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not pee. But I think what is much more important is what is the technique?
Yeah.
How do you start squirting, or what can the men do to facilitate you squirting or something? And there, probably the viewers would like from you, somebody who's squirting actually a lot during sex, I can say. So what is good for you? How does it work?
Okay, I think it's the Spider-Man grip. It's like this. I've got something.
Yes.
So let's say here is clit. Then you go in.
So the clit would be here.
Here, yes.
Okay, and that's the vagina.
Go like this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then?
Then you can move around the inside.
So it's, I think what is important for you, probably we open this one up. How about that?
Okay.
Then it's probably easier to say, to see. All right, so let's say this is the clit, and this is the labia, the opening of the vagina. Then what you showed is you go inside here and move. And what I think is important for you is that I am covering the clit and also put a little bit of pressure onto the clit. So I capture it all the time. You mentioned the Spider-Man grip, which is this grip with in the movies it's always 2 fingers inside. But in your case, I find you prefer 1 finger inside, probably the index finger, the rest is outside. Then moving around left to right.
Yeah.
And maybe in the beginning subtle, so that I just find your G-spot and so on. But when I make you squirt, I'm actually not very subtle. I move around with my whole arm. It's not a subtle move. It's quite, how to say that, with quite some pressure and force, but you can take it somehow.
Yes.
And I go in and out a little bit. Bumping against the clit and moving the finger here. Doing the left and right movement with the finger. I mean, there's a couple of different grips and finger movements in here.
Yeah, feels good.
Feels good? I hope so.
It's really great.
Yeah. So
but You know a website for this?
Yes, we found a website with the different grips, and that is Überkinky.
Uber
Let's
kinky.
put the website onto the screen for a moment. What they have is different finger techniques, like the standard one, the come here, and I think that is really good for warming up. They also show it with two fingers, and I found a number of women, they prefer two fingers in the vagina. Not you, you're quite narrow, you prefer one, but a lot of them, for them it works better with two. Then they have the running man, where you exchange the fingers which are up, which is actually not so easy in some vaginas to do, especially when the woman is squirting. It's getting much tighter inside the
I
vagina.
see.
It comes close to the orgasm, and then the vagina somehow is swelling, and then it's getting quite tight and narrow inside there. And then number 3, which is particularly working well for you, for example, the window washer, just going left and right. Now for you, I think you've got a preference on your left side. Over there, it's a little bit more sensitive than on the right
Yes.
side.
Yes. You noticed.
Yes. And yeah, the hook, which really looks like the Spider-Man grip, like when Spider-Man is shooting a web in the movies and he's hitting his web shooting mechanism with the two fingers. You know, that's kind of like that. So yeah, Überkinky, probably we will put a link to this site in the show notes, because it's kind of fun. And yeah, they also have some positions for that. But yeah, let me ask you again. So what would be a good position for squirting? Because I've seen all these laying positions over there, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's best for you.
For me, easy it's standing or kneeling. It's really getting more squirt.
Yeah.
Or
So your knee
hang on you.
hanging. So I'm standing and I've got you in front of me,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you're kind of in all of these positions. You are upright.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
upright.
So that is much better than when you're laying, right?
Yeah, yeah, somehow.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of common as well. I think that's the same for a lot of women. So what I think is it has got a lot to do with psychology. I mean,
okay.
like always in sex, I mean, technique and fingering and so on is one thing, but you know, to make a woman hot, right? It's a lot about brain and
Yes,
psychology
yes,
and being
definitely.
relaxed. I believe that if you're laying in bed, then it's kind of it's not a position where you feel in control, and it's not a position where you want to let out fluid out of your vagina into the bed, let's say. And when you're upright, when you're
Yes.
standing or you're riding somebody or something, then it's probably much more natural to let out fluid. So probably
Yeah, it's easy. Somehow you just let it go, and it's easier for than laying. Don't know why.
yeah. I think that's a lot of times the case, and that is also why I mentioned our little barbecue
Oh
experience.
yeah.
I mean, it's not really a party. It was one couple coming for a barbecue. And yeah, how did that go?
Yeah, we invited a really nice couple, and it's not necessarily for intent to be sexual.
So we left it open when we invited them. We didn't say, hey, we will jump to bed, but
No,
just for
it's
grilling,
just
for barbecue.
grilling and to get know each other and
Yeah.
talking nicely. But super nice couple. Then- Sorry.
Oh,
Somehow we start talking about squirting.
right.
Squirting. So you said we have to try, right? We
Yeah.
have to give a try or something.
Yeah,
What did I do?
no, I think I said when she was talking about it, I said, okay, then we have to try out if I can make you squirt. Yeah, and so they said, really? And they said, yeah, of course. and, and that was probably that was the wrong approach. I have to say in hindsight, because Anyway, I cannot make her squirt. I cannot make a woman squirt. Like we said, it has so much to do with psychology.
Sorry.
So one thing, don't worry.
Breathe wrong.
Oh yeah. So one thing is the fingering technique, but the other thing is the whole psychology. So I can facilitate a woman squirting. I can allow her to do that by arousing her to that point and using the right technique. But I couldn't force it. I cannot make a woman squirt. Yeah? So, but anyway, we said, okay, let's see if I can make her squirt, and she wanted that. So I was undressing her and first going down on her to warm her up and so on. And she got a beautiful vagina, right? With very tight lips, very tight labia and so on. Really great. So I enjoyed going down on her very much. But somehow I continued thinking about, okay, should I probably make her squirt somehow? I knew that I shouldn't think about that because that would destroy it. And so I told myself self-talk, like, okay, you shouldn't think about making her squirting, which kind of doesn't work. It's like, you know, telling yourself or telling somebody, don't think about the pink elephant in the room.
Definitely.
Yeah,
You've got the pink elephant in the room.
It's there then, all of a sudden. So I was in my head and I thought to myself, wow, I'm really in my head. And somehow I think it transferred to her because all of a sudden she told me, oh, I'm so in my head, I cannot get out of it. I think it just transfers. And then we actually, we changed it and she went down on me and we made regular sex. And that was, we were all the time laying on the sofa, not standing or something. So anyway, but yeah, you were playing with him, but you were not so concerned about squirting?
No, I was playing with him, and then we start with kissing and everything. Even I said in the conversation we said I do squirt, I do squirting, but not in my head. So, but we start playing kissing and regular sex. In the end, I didn't remember if I squirt. It's definitely wet over there in the sofa, but it's more like a sweat.
Ah, you were quite sweaty.
Yeah, quite
was
sweating, quite warm.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's come to a story where
But did she squirt in the end? No.
no, actually she didn't. So let's say I wasn't able to facilitate it. But that's what I just had in mind. We had a similar situation, but there I was able to facilitate it because I went about it completely different. If you can recall 2 years back at the Spice Resort, Lanzarote, very young couple was laying outside on the day beds next to the pool together with us.
Yeah.
And she was talking about squirting, said that she would squirt a lot when she is coming. And I basically said the same. Oh, then we have to try it out. And was starting to go down on her.
Yeah.
And then she told me that if she would now try to get an orgasm and try to squirt, then it would usually not work. She wouldn't get an orgasm and she wouldn't squirt if she because trying.
Thinking about it and trying then.
Yeah. I mean, she knew that about herself, quite young, but she knew a lot. And she said, then if I'm thinking about it, won't work, which makes good sense.
Yeah.
And what I said by that time was, hey, I was just kidding. I'm just pleasing you a little bit. So you kick back, relax, and enjoy it. But you don't need to orgasm, and you definitely don't need to squirt or something. Just enjoy. It's just playing. I mean, we can do a lot of things somewhere later. In a bedroom, wherever, but now just enjoy.
Yeah.
And in the end, she was coming and she was squirting like crazy.
Showering.
She was showering me. And I can recall you were playing with her boyfriend.
Yes, I was the next.
It was similar.
Yeah, I was riding on him, and then so I'm upward. So and I squirt a lot. And
Yeah.
also had orgasm, so it's really fun.
Yeah. I've seen that. And he was surprised. At the end, he said it was like the full porn experience with screaming, squirting, and everything, but at the poolside. Yeah, I think that was probably the right approach to just say, no, we don't go for exactly this, but we just enjoy. Right?
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just enjoying, then don't get this thing in mind to try hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we said you're squirting a lot. Any tips for squirting if let's say if we do everything right, if we don't try to do squirting but we just try to enjoy, so what are your tips? We talked about you being upright. That's much easier, I think. Same for a lot of women. What else?
I feel better when have 2 or 3 towels under me in the bed. And I'm laying.
Yeah,
So it feels better with towels and
so that gives you somehow a nice feeling that if you squirt it doesn't go into the bed sheet but into a towel or something.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And another
Psychology, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is drink enough. Just normal enough, not drowning yourself,
Yeah.
not extra water drinking or something. Just
Yeah.
don't dehydrate yourself.
Yeah, so if
Then-
you're really dry, it wouldn't work. There's not much fluid to build up.
No,
then,
anyway, your body, inside your body, it's dry, so it's nothing
huh? Yeah,
over there.
I see.
The last tip is if necessary, you go toilet before.
Before sex, huh?
You go to
Notice you do that quite often. Before you have sex, you go to toilet and then you come back and feels better.
Yes, it feels relaxed. Then you don't need to somehow feel your muscle to hold your pee or something.
Yeah, I could imagine if you are doing sex and you need to go to toilet. Point A, it's probably not so much fun.
No.
And point B, if you hold the PC muscle down there, then you would also hold back squirting, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, with something while sex, you go to toilet. It's okay. I mean, still, I just don't hold. Don't hold to go to toilet. Then feels much more relaxed.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of tips right there. Yeah, it's make a scene where or set up the scene so that you don't squirt onto anything that you don't want to squirt on, like your bed sheet. I mean, put towels down there or a latex sheet or whatever is nice for you. Drink enough was the second one. Go to toilet before so you're relaxed everywhere. Third one, and what we already said, probably try it upright, not laying. And yeah, for the guys, we will put the link with the hands underneath this video or into the show notes of our podcast, of the episode. Today it's the first time that we are on YouTube because we just wanted to try out something new.
Yeah.
Facebook before, now we try out YouTube. Just let's see what works better for you. We'll see if we can put a link there to Uber Kinky. Maybe we can, maybe YouTube doesn't want it. Let's see. But on our website, emilyandmichael.tv, in the show notes, we will put the link to this, let us show it again, to this website where they describe all the hand techniques and all the positions. And I think probably when you want to try out these tips, I want to give us 2 little caveats here because we don't want to make anybody feel bad. Huh? So we talked about it that squirting is really nice, but it's not something that you definitely must have in your sex life, right? No. So nobody should feel bad if they didn't experience it yet. And nobody should feel bad if it doesn't work. Because it's just one of the things that you can do. If it doesn't work, well, so what? There's a million other good things.
Yes.
So don't feel bad about it. Just relax and enjoy the rest of the ride. And the other caveat is that if you are in this group who hasn't experienced it before, and you probably watched porn, what you see in mainstream porn, if you go to pornhub.com or something and watch for search for squirting and look at this, in our experience, it has absolutely zero to do with reality. Really nothing. Right?
No like a fountain or something.
They always have fountains and one after another and then another one screaming and
No.
no, this is all trick. Yeah, this is girls drinking a lot and then peeing, or they've got a little tube and so on. So this has nothing to do with squirting. Don't expect a total fountain waterfall kind of event coming out of your vagina. Or out of your partner's vagina.
It can be a lot ejaculation, but it's not that fountain thing.
I've never
No.
ever seen that, and I've seen a lot. No. So yeah, that's something which is probably important to note. And yeah, with that said, anything else, or should we call it a day?
Let's call it today.
Okay, so that's a wrap. The first time we go live on YouTube.
Yeah.
We hope it works for you. And yeah, we hope to see you next time. Probably not next week. I think next week we have another kind of barbecue. Yeah, no sex, but a regular grilling. It's also nice every now and then. Huh?
With my cousin.
Okay.
Relatives.
And yeah, so probably in 2 or 3 weeks we can go live again. And until then, let us know what we should talk about. Let us know anything you're interested in. And let us know how you like it on YouTube versus on Facebook.
Yeah.
So where should we go live? That would be really interesting. With that said, have a lot of fun with your fellow people. Bye-bye.
Bye.